Alright, welcome, it's Def Diary 75. Today we're going to be talking about the upcoming story pack, an unnamed story pack that will be involving a fallen machine empire. That's how we're going to be seeing some robots of the hive mind variety that will be running the custodian matrix. For some reason, this is very interesting because I did not expect a new type of Fallen Empire to be added to the game, especially not through a story pack. We haven't seen one of these since Leviathans, and just to give you a little bit of context here, Leviathans at the time cost $10. I personally feel totally worth it. It's better than Plantoids, which cost the same amount and just adds some leak-inspired ships. So, you know, that's anybody. You can have your own opinion about that. Whether or not we're going to be seeing any additional, things like the packs that involve new models for portraits and stuff like that is a whole different question, but we'll see whether or not that is the case. Regardless, the Ancient Caretakers, which are part of the story pack, will be a fallen synthetic civilization that appears to be the remnant of a great conflict in the distant past. And they are part of something called the Custodian Project, which is an initiative to construct and maintain a number of ring worlds as refugees for biological sapiens fleeing from some unknown menace. What is this unknown menace? Well, you could maybe it's the hunters that are after the Praetorian Scourge, who knows? But it does not. It seems that something is rotten in the state of Denmark, as they are erratic, and sometimes, well, it may suggest that there may be something very wrong with this fallen machine empire, and this goes along with a couple of images as well. They come with a new attitude called Enigmatic, which basically means that you're never sure what they're actually doing and what their goals are. You will not be able to see what their opinion of you is. They're enigmatic, so that means they're bizarre, and they will help you maybe with gifts of ships and technology, or request your assistance for tasks that make probably little sense. This could be anything, from my opinion. Hey, you want some? We need some food. All right, cool. We need this little rock over here. It's like, all right, we need the recipe to your pan-galactic gargle blaster or something along those lines. Who knows? These are the questions that keep the custodians awake at night. However, they also have a quote-unquote triggering event, and considering we are not on Tumblr, this makes it for even a more precarious sort of situation. They have apparently several triggers when it comes to awakening, but when they awake, they will behave in a very peculiar way, and the image that they're actually posting here is that they are berserkers. Now, Berserker is a term for a type of von Neumann probe that is basically destroying everything in its path, as well as the things that created it. Not entirely sure if it's actually a von Neumann probe variant or not, but I'm sure somebody in the chat can correct me on that particular subject. Fallen Empire tweaks in general, which will be coming with Chapek. All the stuff that I talked about beforehand will all be part of the new story pack, which is currently unnamed. Chapek instead, 1.8, there will be a bunch of changes to the Fallen Empires, something which we haven't seen since the expansion of Leviathans, where we had the War in Heaven, so this could be an addition towards that one. There will be a new initializer for the Keepers of Knowledge, as they will no longer have their ring worlds, and instead they will get a bunch of Gaia worlds, because apparently with the Caretakers, apparently there will be too many ring worlds around, and they want to keep them a little bit rare, so just so you don't have them everywhere. For those people that do not get the story pack, of course, the ring worlds will still spawn. This, of course, does not include Sanctuary, which is a whole separate project. Although, looking kind of back on it, Sanctuary was supposed to be a project to support a biosphere with several species. Who knows? Maybe they're kind of related at some point. That's very interesting. Then there is the Keepers of Knowledge were changed to their behavior. Hatred of AI is no longer a conflict, so you can still keep your AI, and they will no longer try to destroy you, or if you don't have any AI, or have AI in that case. And They apparently will double down on their obsession with collecting and hoarding knowledge, and satellites of awakened empire keepers of knowledge will no longer require that ban, as I said, but will require a massive contribution in research. Obviously, they start with all the research in the game, but of course you can have the additional researches on top of it that you can keep on rolling. Holy Guardians are being made a little bit more interactive. If you are, for instance, a spiritualist species, you can interact with them a little bit deeper. They will now be the ones that hate all the AI, which is kind of annoying, and they will not like any synthetic civilization. So potentially they're the ones that can have a war in heaven with this defective custodian, so to speak. The military isolationists and enigmatic observers will almost not be changed. A couple of changes to their initializers and ship designs, and removing synths previously used by the military isolationists will be given to the keepers of knowledge instead. And they will also start with more trait points for their species than any other fallen empire to represent their focus on the biological. So that it may be a direction towards the biological ascension chain there. Finally, there was a change on the way to establish first contact with a fallen empire. Previously, unless you had done something to anger them, FEs would open communications only when you directly enter their space. This has been changed so that a fallen empire will now instead contact you when your ships enter any system adjacent to their space. So this makes it difficult, harder to accidentally colonize a sort of holy world, which is rather interesting. Next week we're going to be discussing something, but in the meantime I will get back to that at the end of the video. In the meantime, I want to give you guys a little bit of an update. We did the video about the Enigmatic Fortress being absolute trash, and we had good feedback on that one, of course. But funnily enough, only a day afterwards, Wiz contacted me saying, hey man, we're tweaking on the Enigmatic Fortress. We're still going to do some of the randomized drop rates there. So yeah, instead of having the 20, 20, and 10, 10 modifier, instead there's a 33% chance that you get the power cores, a 33% chance that you get the shields, and a 33% chance that you can get the encoder and the decoder. So you can get the power core or the shields or the encoder and the decoder, which is rather interesting. And apparently they're buffing both the encoder and decoder to make them more interesting, because right now the power core and the shield are by far the better one, even though the shields are pretty much on par with the psi shields that you can get through the psionic chain. Regardless, next week, apparently, we're going to be talking about changes in hive minds and devouring swarms as apparently a new addition to dynamically swapping traditions in Chapek. Looking forward to your feedback on this one, because the new story pack is coming soon. Really curious what we're going to be seeing here aside from the Ancient Caretakers. As a quick note, of course, the update towards the AI Uprising event will be part of Chop Pack and not of the Story Pack. So the contingency will be part of Chop Pack as far as I understand. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. If you did not, the dislike button is over there. And if you're here for the first time, go watch a couple of more videos and then decide if you want to subscribe or not. I'm sure that you are an adult and you can make your own decisions. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and, of course, each other.